Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, back with another Certified Hood Classic. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys my brand new second-hand car. And no, this isn't just a flagrant flex to share with you guys how successful I am these days and how well YouTube is going. No. I actually bought this car by selling sneakers from my collection. If you guys are following me on IG, you'll have probably noticed that over the past couple of months, I've been selling doubles from my collection. I've been selling some pretty high heat bangers, to be fair, that I'm just not wearing or not finding the time to wear. And so that money has gone to a good cause, namely a new car. Well, not a new car, but you know what I mean. Now, previously, my missus and my dogs and I have been bombing around London inside of this bad boy here. This is a 2010 Mini Cooper S, the N18 engine, 1.6, turbocharged. The thing has been an absolute joy to drive when I'm in it by myself, but when I'm in it with the missus and the dogs, the ride and the comforts and the way that you move through the gears isn't particularly relaxing. Despite this thing being a little go-kart, a little pocket rocket, and being a lot of fun to drive, it's not particularly practical on long journeys when you have a couple of dogs and you have bags. And my missus and I are also in the process of trying to start a family. And so we need to essentially upsize in order to give ourselves a little bit more space for the dogs as well as a kid or two. So the criteria for the new motor were pretty much as follows. We wanted to get an estate or a station wagon. I'm not sure what you guys over there in the US call this type of car, but we needed a bigger car. 2, it had to be automatic. As much fun as it is to drive a manual car, it's not particularly practical in London. And also my missus doesn't like driving a manual, so we needed an auto. Next, we needed something with air conditioning and something that was ULEZ compliant. If you guys don't know what ULEZ is, it's essentially an emissions tax that you have to pay if your car doesn't meet certain emissions standards. And it's really expensive. It's like £12.50 per day to drive your car if your car is a spluttering, coughing, filthy mess. Now, in terms of our budget for the new car, we didn't really want to spend a lot of money. I didn't want to have to go in and plunder my already emaciated savings account. We didn't want to hop on an ostensibly attractive finance deal. We just wanted to buy the car outright. And so the budget that we had to play with was whatever we got for the Mini, plus maybe like £3,000 or £4,000 all in max. I ended up selling the Mini for £1,500, which wasn't too bad given the current market on Minis, particularly ones that are turbocharged and particularly ones that are this old. And so our starting point was £1,500. In order to top up this budget, I decided to go into the collection and dig out some pairs that I either had doubles of, or pairs that I'm not wearing that much anymore, or just pairs that I was quite happy to flip on the markets. Now, if you guys know me and you've been following me for some time, you'll know that I've done this many times in the past. I'm a big fan of leveraging my sneaker collection in order to raise up money for alternative ventures. I did it in order to help contribute to the deposit for the house that we bought back in 2019. I even did it a few months ago when I desperately needed a new computer because my computer was failing on me. And this new car scenario was no different. So let's go through the sneakers that I sold. First and foremost, shout out to anybody that did buy sneakers from me over the past couple of months. Most of the sneakers that I've sold through my IG stories, and most people that I've sold to have been trustworthy enough to just gift me the payment via PayPal, friends and family, and then just wait for me to ship. First and foremost, we have the Purple Lobsters in a UK 9. I bought these a few years ago now for £630, and I ended up selling them for £650. Next up, we have a pair of the Jarrito Dunks, and this was a double. You'll have probably noticed in the background of my videos, I still have a pair of Jarritos, and this pair is very clean and is actually in a UK 10, and so I wanted to keep the 10 and get rid of the UK 9.5. I ended up selling these for £300, which I think is a pretty good deal for these. And then we have the entire Powerpuff Girls set. I sold the blue pair for £260, the green pair for £200, and the pink pair for £200 as well. So basically £660 for all three. Also sold the Street Hawker SB Dunks in a UK 9.5. These I sold for £280. I sold a couple of pairs of the Yuto Horigome SBs. I actually bought a whole bunch of these last year because I loved the model so much and I thought they might be a half decent investment, but they didn't really end up being that for me, and so I ended up just getting my money back out of these. I sold a couple of pairs of these for £280 a piece. Also sold the April SBs for £280, and you're probably noticing a bit of a theme at this point. Bro is just selling all of the SB Dunks. Listen, I've been collecting SB Dunks pretty hard for the last 2 or 3 years, and I don't really wear that many SB Dunks on the regular, so I had a lot of spare ones that I could afford to sell, and the market for SBs is pretty goods. There are a lot of people out there that are interested, particularly in the collabs that I have been selling. I sold the Air Jordan 4 Levi's for £300 all in, which is a pretty good deal. And I also sold a couple of big bangers, including these, man, the Red Lobsters in a UK 10. I sold these for £640 to a friend of mine. You might remember I picked this pair up about a year ago for 520, 530, something like that. So these netted me a decent little profit. And I also sold the Tiffany Air Force One lows. These I bought off eBay for £530 and ended up selling these for £630. So again, a nice tidy little profit, nothing crazy. I sold an extra pair of the Crenshaw SBs for £270. And I also sold a few little cheeky steals here and there, like a brand new pair of the Golden Bullets for £50. These Asics EX90s for £50, some Chicago SBs for £100, and the Type Booth SBs UK 9.5. These I got for retail, didn't want to tax on these too much. I only wore them once, but sold these for £140. And so that brought the total to pretty close to £5,000, around £4,900, unless my maths or addition fails me, which it almost certainly probably has. We sold the Mini for £1,500, which was a pretty good price in the market and given the condition, as I said before, meaning that the total budget that we had to play with on this car was around about £6,500. Now, I don't need to tell you guys out there that looking for a brand new secondhand car out there in the used market is kind of tricky. There are a lot of what look to be really good deals on places like Facebook Marketplace, and then you also have dealerships that you can go to, and then obviously we could have used that money to put down a deposit on like a brand new car and just finance it. So after plenty of looking around and after several different meetups with cars that I found on Facebook Marketplace, I ended up finding a secondhand dealership here in London that had a pretty good looking fleet of used cars that were in pretty good condition, and I ended up settling on this car right here. Here we go. And here we are. May I present to you, I haven't given it a name yet. Haven't even given it a gender. I'm not sure. It could be a girl, could be a boy, I'm not sure. Best name suggestions in the comments down below will stick. Guarantee it. But we have here a 2015 Mazda 6. Now, when I bought it, it was clean, and I'm going to show you guys the inside, but the inside is filthy as well because we've already had the dogs in it. We've already been on a trip to the beach in it. I probably should have done the unveiling when it was in way more presentable condition, but all good. So the first things first, it's an estate. Check, box. Second of all, it's automatic. Check, box. It's a 2 or a 2.2 liter diesel, but it is a Euro 6. So not only is it fuel efficient, but it's also ULEZ compliant. So that is a huge check box. Let's check out inside. Ooh, here we go. So Checking out the inside. Steering wheel, round, as you'd expect. We have a heads-up display that has like a whole entertainment thing, sat nav as well, which is good. We've got the auto gearbox, we've got cup holders with sand from the beach in it, and then even in here, man, you've got like little ports for the USB and stuff like that. Bro, look at the space in the back. Actually, I'll show you guys the boot. Got the 17s, okay, not the best rims. I am tempted to get some better rims, but check out the boot, man. Bro, already got the beach blanket in here with the dog harnesses, and you'll have to excuse the hair, and there is a parcel tray as well as a dog screen that I've just taken out. But yeah, man, wicked. Heaps of room in the back for the dogs, heaps of room up front for me and the missus, and for a potential kid. Some of the other details, it's done 100,000 miles, which is around about 160,000 kilometers, so it is up there. But these are Mazdas, man. These go for ages, as I'm sure you guys out there will probably know. And if any of you guys out there do own a Mazda or love Mazdas, feel free to drop a comment down below. This is my first ever Mazda. I have had a few other Japanese cars in the past, but stoked to have this as my first one. It's had one owner from new. We have a full service history. The bodywork is straight, as you can see. The engine ticks over really nice, very smooth ride. So mechanically and cosmetically, it's very sound. Now, I bet you're wondering, how much did you pay for this thing? Did you manage to get this in budget? Well, I actually went to a dealership and we negotiated about the price a little bit. I managed to pick this thing up for £4,500, which I think is about maybe just over 5,000 US dollars. And in terms of running costs, 160 quid a year, road tax, and then insurance was quite expensive, to be fair, £800. So all in with insurance and road tax and all of that stuff on top, this came out to £5,300. Subtract from that the 1,500 from the Mini, leaves you with about £3,800, meaning the shoes that I sold more than covered this motor. So am I delighted? You bet your butt I'm delighted. I think it's a good car. It's not too flashy, it's not too out there, it's not too hard out, but it is fully paid off. It's in my name and I am delighted. So comment down below whether or not you think that was a good deal. I'm happy, that's all that matters. And there we go, that is it. With the extra money from the budgets, I've basically just resigned myself to the fact that I'll just be buying more shoes. The benefit of selling up sneakers for me anyway is that I get to not only free up some space, but I also get to generate some money to buy some more sneakers to give you guys some more fantastic reviews. And it's one of the things that I like a lot about collecting something like sneakers. I'm delighted with the car. I think it's fantastic. I have been really enjoying driving it and using it. It is nice to just be in a smooth cruising auto estate with heaps of room. And whilst it might not be the flashiest or the most fancy car out there, it's definitely everything that we wanted plus more. So not planning on modifying it. The only thing I might maybe do is get some nice wheels for it a little bit further down the line, but for now it is absolutely fine. What do you guys think? Are you guys a fan of the Mazda 6? Are you guys a fan of these types of cars? Feel free to let me know down below. And as always, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the weekly sneaker news recap. Have a good day. Take care for now.